Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam. So we have covered present tense last time. Covered past tense before that. Now what we'll cover is something that is called an order or a prohibition. So an order is called amr in Arabic, and a prohibition is called nahi in Arabic. So this is from amr bil ma'ruf, so you order the good, wa nahi, and you prohibit it, anil munkar, from the evil, right? And the munafiqeen, they do the opposite. They order the they order the munkar and they prohibit the good. Okay, so how do you have this in Arabic language? How would you see that in Quran? So now, in terms of the second person, first person, or third person, we only have to deal with second person here. Why? Because order and prohibition is given when you're talking to somebody. When you're talking to somebody, then it's always second person, right? So it would be, please do this, don't do this. It won't be to a third person. It doesn't make sense. You talk to somebody and you give them an order, or you tell them to not do something. Now also order can be a request. Like the same form can also be used for a request and for a advice. So it would depend on the parties involved in a communication, right? So if you're talking to your son or your daughter, then it's an order in general, right? And if you're talking to a friend, then it's an advice or a request, right? So if you're asking, for example, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we still use the same form of the word. The literal form is still the same, but in that sense it is a dua, it is a request, it is a plea that we want something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us with, but the form is same. Similarly, in Quran, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses this form to tell us something, then it is in general an order, something that we must do, unless there are some other indication that tell us that it is an optional thing. So for example, we have seen that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Adam and Hawa alayhi salam to eat. So it does not mean that you have to eat all the time, or He says to her to eat the pure things. So meaning that you are allowed to eat the pure things, only consume the pure thing as you need, so on and so forth, right? So this is something that we have discussed earlier when we were studying the words. So sometimes we say that it's an order, sometimes it's something that is allowed to do and recommended to do, depending on the order and different contexts and different proofs, so on and so forth. Okay, so now if you want to say fa'ala means he did something, yaf'alu means he does something or he will do something. Now if you want to say do something, or please do something, or I recommend you do this thing, how do you use that? It's if'al. So you add a hamza, and then you make the first root letter sakin, and then it is if'al. Now this hamza is called hamzatul wasl, meaning that this is read if you are starting from that word. But if you had something else before it, like a wow or something, then you would drop it. Example is, for example, ittaqu. Ittaqu means fear Allah, fear, right? Ittaqullah, fear Allah. Sorry, or ittaqillah, fear Allah, if you're talking about singular, right? But let's say if you had a wow in the in the beginning, and you're continuing with something else, so you'd say wattaqullah, wattaqullah. So the hamza gets dropped. So you join the wow with the ta. So observe this when you see it in Quran, right? So hamza gets dropped. Also, there's one more thing, is that what would be on this hamza? Would it always be a kasra? No. So sometime you would see that it would be a dhamma, but it would never be a fatha in this simple form. It would never be a fatha in this simple form. So when would it be a dhamma? You look at this third letter. Third letter, if you count the hamza, is the first letter, right? So hamza is first, fa is second, and this is the third letter. So if the third letter has a fatha or a kasra, then this hamza would take a kasra. If the third letter has a dhamma, then the hamza would take a dhamma. Example of this is unzur. Unzur. So unzur meaning watch out, look at. Right? So hamza takes a dhamma because the law has a dhamma. So observe this in Quran or write down this example and you will see. So anyways, so the bottom line is that this is how you would see the order form if al. Okay. And if you're talking to two person, it would be if ala. All you are doing is adding a simple alif. And if you're talking about plural, it would be if alu. So ittaqi, ittaqa, and ittaqu. Right? So fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And similarly for female, you add a ya. So if ali, if ala, and if alna. So this noon for female plural. Now if you're making it a prohibition, if you're giving a negation of something, then it's a little bit different. So you add a la all the time to make it a prohibition, and then it is taf'al, taf'al, taf'ala, taf'alu, taf'ali, taf'ala, taf'al. Okay, then they will give you some vocabulary, and then here are the examples. Let's do some example. We'll do all the examples this time. So look, Ain Lam Mim El, knowledge, Alima, he knew. Now to know is I'lamu. I'lamu. Okay. So Alima, he knew, I'lamu, you should know this. La taf'al, and on the same pattern is La tadhab, do not go. La taj'al, do not make. So la taj'al ma'allahi, do not make ma'a, with Allah, ilahan, God, dini, akhar, other. Do not make set partners with Allah. So la taqulu, do not say. So ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqulu ra'ina, do not say ra'ina wa qulun dhurna. So do not say ra'ina wa qulu, but say unzurna. It's from Al-Baqarah. La taqraba, you two do not come near. Right? So Allah is talking to Adam and Hawa. He says wala taqraba hadhihi shajara. Right? So two people, this form is used. La tas'alni, what do you think this is? Do not ask me. It becomes so obvious, right? You don't have to like think of very form. You just say, okay, this is la, negation, and then you see the root su'al, and then you see me. So Allah says to Nuh alayhi salam, la tas'alni ma laysa laka bihi ilm. Okay? Wasma'u, what do you think this is? Listen, right? And the same words, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqulun la taqulu ra'ina wa qulun dhurna wasma'u, and listen. La tafarraqu, from fa, ra, qaf, do not divide, do not get divided. La takunu, do not be, do not be. Right? So qulu, you all say something. Qul, singular, qulu, plural, and kun, be. Okay. Irkabu, irkabu is to ride, right? To ride on something. Ishribu, you all drink. Waw is telling you is for all. Now look, ishrah li. Ishrah means from sheen, ra, ha. Sharh. Sharh means explanation or expansion. So ishrah li, widen me, open up for me. Now you have the dua, Rabbish rahli. So now this is an order? No, it's in dua because you're talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rabbish rahli. And in this you see that the hamza gets dropped. Why? Because the ba of Rabb joins with the sheen of sharh. قل, say. It's اشرح, separate. لا تخافي, do not fear. So this is for female, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses a female in Quran with this, لا تخافي. Who is that?
How would we say, do not fear me? And with the same,
No. So that will be like this, right? لا تسألني. Right? So yes. Where is it? Yeah, like this, right? لا تسألني. So ni is for me, right? So ni is for me. So لا تخفني. Now this ya is for feminine, right? It's not for I. Because another thing to notice, is a good time to mention that I don't think we have talked about this earlier, is that for I it's ana, and for mine is ya, right? So for example, Rabbi, my Rabb. But when you want to mention it as an object, it would be ni. Always it would be ni. So we say Alhamdulillahi alladhi at'ama ni. Right? We don't say at'ami, at'ama ni, because he fed me. So here I am acting as an object, right? So whenever it's an object, it's always ni. Okay, so la takhafi, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to the mother of Musa alayhi salam, la takhafi wa la tahzani inna radduhu ilayk, we will return him to you. La taqraba, something we've seen earlier, idhab, you go. Okay, so this is how you would see the order and prohibition appearing in Quran, and on top of that, it's even easier for you to recognize this, because the context is also helping you to understand if it is order, negation, or past tense or present tense, or all different things. But now that you're picking it up, you can inshallah start paying more attention to it when you see it in Quran. And if you want to double check it, you can easily go back to corpus and see what kind of order or negation it is. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك